Hello mga kaibigan, what's up? Pag-uusapan naman po natin ngayon ay usapang relihiyon na may halong usaping legal, no? Ito ay may kinalaman sa Kingdom of Jesus Christ members ni Pastor Apollo Kibuloy. Sila ay mga dating miyembro. 3 babae po ito, no? Na in-interview ng Rappler at sila nga ay nagsiwalat ng kanilang saloobin or sabihin nating sama ng loob against kay Pastor Apollo Kibuloy. At ito ay kanilang mga karanasan nung sila ay nasa loob pa ng simbahan, no? Okay, so disclaimer lang po. Ito ay commentary lamang at yung syempre burden of proof ay na kay Pastor Kibuloy kung paano niya i-challenge or pabubulaanan yung mga alegasyon, no? Alegasyon lang po ito laban sa kanya. Gaya ng madalas niyang sabihin, lalo na nung sila ay nagbabangayan pa ni Pacquiao, tayo ay nagtatanong lamang. So gaya ng sinasabi niya, nagtatanong lamang siya kay Pacquiao, bakit hindi sagutin ni Pacquiao? So ito, alegasyon ng mga miyembro niya. So sa kanya, paano niya sasagutin. Alright, ito na po ang video. 3, 2, 1.
A Rappler exclusive, embattled Kingdom of Jesus Christ leader Pastor Apollo Kibuloy allegedly exploited minors and women, according to former church members and a U.S. indictment document. Kibuloy is accused of making them believe salvation would be theirs only if they dedicated their lives, or in the case of some, their bodies to him.
Ayun mga kaibigan, putulin po muna natin, bigyan ko lang ng komentary yung pahayag na yun, ano? Anong sabi? Salvation would be theirs only if they dedicate their lives, or in the case of some, their bodies to Him. So maliligtas lamang kapag inalay mo ang iyong buhay, or sa iba lang po, no? Hindi naman lahat, yung katawan sa kanya, no? Ito yata yung sinasabing night duty ng ilang mga kababaihan, ages 12 years old to 25 if I am not mistaken. Ayan, yung nakikita po ninyo sa dito sa picture ay si Arlene Stone. To my presumption, nasa US siya based sa kanyang pananalita at Islam. So siya po yung unang nagpahayag na babae na dating miyembro ni Pastor Apollo Kibuloy. Okay, pakinggan po natin muli ang narration ng Rappler. Okay? Eto na.
In an exclusive interview with Rappler, 3 women disclosed what they saw and experienced during the years they were part of his kingdom. Their accounts corroborate certain details in an indictment document in the United States against Kibuloy, a close friend and supporter of President Rodrigo Duterte.
Now, the Solomonic ministry, if we go back to the Old Testament and how Solomon lives his life, Solomon has, multiple hundreds and hundreds of wives and hundreds and hundreds of concubines. So Kibuloy is using that as his plataforma.
U.S. federal prosecutors say the pastorals were typically between the ages of 12 and 25 and engaged in sex with Kibuloy in what was referred to as night duty.
Ayun, grabe. Ayon nga kay Arlene Stone, ang platform pala or basehan na ginagamit daw ni Pastor Apollo Kibuloy ay yung Solomonic ministry na kung saan sinusunod yung maraming asawa, maraming concubines. Ayon kay Arlene Stone, no? At yung mga nagna-night duty na ages 12 to 25 ay ang tawag pala dito sa selected few na to ay pastorals. Oh, grabe, no? Kung totoo po yan. Okay, tuloy po natin.
Sociologist and Ateneo de Manila professor Jael Cornelio tells Rappler these psychological and social traps were an offshoot of the iron discipline Kibuloy imposed.
Ang theology nila is that, so sila lang yung ligtas, di ba? And paano ka maliligtas if you fully surrender your will to the Father? Whatever that means, it's a very abstract theological statement, subjecting your will to the Father. Pero in organizational terms, it means subjecting your will to the appointed Son of God.
Ayan mga kaibigan, ano? Halos lahat naman yata ng relihiyon, no, nagsasabi sa kanila lang ang may kaligtasan or lahat ng miyembro lang nila ang maliligtas? Meron bang reliyon na hindi nagsasabi ng ganon? Ayon kay Google, merong 4,300 na relihiyon sa buong mundo. At kung bawat isa ay nagsasabi na sila lang ang maliligtas, abay mahihilo po talaga ang sangkatauhan. Ano ba talaga ang totoo? Tulungan po ninyo ako mga kaibigan. Tuloy po natin.
What Pastor Kibuloy used as palo is the thickest belt that you can ever see. It's like a belt that meant for horses. And so I was being spanked 60 times when
60?
yes, 60. And the reason I was spanked, it's because I watch movie with other workers. During that time, the whole time up to that situation, I think that was 1995, 1996, I believe. Pastor Kibuloy and other inner circle, the inner of the innermost, they went to US, and then when they get here, they were watching movies, and they went to casino and play these slot machines. And so that information leaked out when they came back to the Philippines. And then they told us that we are free. We have freedom. So at that time, we weren't even allowed to wear pants. Our attire was always dress or skirt. But when they came back, we were allowed to wear pants. And then they said that we have freedom. So we assumed that since they watch movie, we assumed that we can also watch movie. So we went to the theater and we watched movies. And it's so nice because, Philippines is so hot. And the theater is so cold, so we use that when you sell or when you beg money all day and it's so hot, you find some place to cool down. So it happens that the theater is the cold place to go. So me and other puto sealers or solicitors, we went to the theater and watch a movie and cool down. And then we came back to the compound and we told everybody we were so proud that we were watching movie. So there you go. I got spanked. Per movie is 20 spank. So I watched 3 movies and that's where I had 60. But some people, they had 120 spank at one time.
Was it hard enough for you to get wounds? Or you said it was a big hard belt. Or
Yes.
did you get injuries from this?
Yes, my butt and the back of my thighs actually was bleeding, and I could not sit straight for 2 weeks. I have to find a way on how to sit without pain.
Who administered this?
Kibuloy itself. Kibuloy itself. Yes.
All of you, he did it himself.
Yes, he did it himself. But I believe that was the last time that he spanked someone. It was me. I was the last person that he spanked, because after he spanked me, we had a meeting. We had a stand-up meeting, and I was laughing. I was laughing because I can't picture in my head that he would do that to a little body. It's outrageous. So when we were there and I was laughing, so he just quit spanking. And since then, it was ministers who do the punishment, the physical punishment.
But the physical punishment continued even after
Yes,
that.
yes. And it got worse.
How worse?
Well, it is worse because some people, they hit them on the head. It's not just the butt part. They hit them on the head, and it's terrible. There are horrendous things that's happening there that I can't even picture out. Okay, example.
Go ahead, really.
Example. There are a bunch of these full-time workers who think that they had devil in them, they were punished by using hot pepper,
Sherry,
labuyo,
um,
labuyo, and put that labuyo in their eyes.
what happened to them?
They stuck them in one room, and then after that they shipped them to a different place so that there won't be any workers that would find out what happened, and then they eventually got out from the ministry
Are you
and in hiding.
were you able to get in touch with them when they left the ministry?
Yes, I was able to in touch with them, and I'm still in touch with them until now. We were in communication. We were in this together. We want change.
Ayan. So, basing sa stories ni Arlene Stone, no? Apparently nasa ibang bansa siya dahil nung nagkukwento siya, kinukwento niya yung karanasan niya sa compound nung I think sa Davao ito, no? Doon sa compound, doon sa malaking compound ng church ni Pastor Apollo Kibuloy. Ayan, ayon sa kanyang kwento, excuse me, may mga miyembro ng inner circles na pumunta ng US at yun nga, nagagawa nila yung mga bagay na dapat sana ay bawal tulad nung pagpunta sa mga casino, panonood ng sine, no? At pag uwi ng Davao o dun sa compound, nalaman nilang grupo ni Arlene na pwede palang manood ng sine. So, bata pa daw sila nung time na yon at pagkatapos silang magbenta ng mga puto, mainit sa labas. So, the only place sa compound na malamig ay yung sa theater. So, since narinig nila na pwede palang manood, nanood sila. At ang punishment sa isang movie ay 20 spanks. So, palo ang ginagamit daw ay makapal na belt. Ayan. So, since nakatatlong movie siya, 60 spanks ang naranasan niya during that time na nag-cause ng injury sa kanyang puwet, no? At yung iba sabi niya ay mas marami pa dahil mas maraming movie ang pinanood. Ayan. So, at ayon nga din po sa kanya, si Pastor Kibuloy mismo yung namalo. Grabe, no? Napapaisip din ako mga kaibigan, ano kaya ang motibo ni Arlene Stone at ng iba pa niyang mga kasamahan sa paghahayag ng ganito, no? Ano nga kaya talaga? Ano kaya ang motivation nila? So, it remains a big question kung totoo mga kaibigan. At gaya ng sinabi ko kanina, ang mga statements na ito ay mananatiling aligasyon hanggat hindi napapatunayan sa korte. Okay, so ang kailangan gawin ni Pastor Apollo Kibuloy ay siyempre sagutin yung bawat aligasyon na ibinabato sa kanya, gaya ng kanyang hiling kay Senator Manny Pacquiao. Ano mga kaibigan, pero nakakakilabot, ano po? Kayo po, ano pong opinion nyo, no? Tuloy po natin mga kaibigan.
So I can tell you how we get a lot of money. Number one, pretend that you are a student. You are a student, you are a self-supporting student, and you are doing this for your study, to continue your study. You don't have parents, you don't have family, and yet you are surviving as a student. So of course, people will think that, hey, we need to help this person because she's working so hard for her future. So they will give you a big chunk of money because they feel terrible. Now, the other thing is we pretend that we were deaf and mute. So we try to do the sign language pretending that we were deaf and mute. So these people will, they were sympathize to us because we are, you have a personality, you are good looking, and yet you are deaf and mute, and you strive for yourself. So they will give you a big amount of money, and that's why we were considered a high earner, full-time
Okay.
workers.
Grabe, natawa naman ako sa pahayag ni Arlene na yon. Nagpapanggap pala sila na pipi at bingi para yung simpatya ng tao makuha nila, malimusan sila ng maganda-ganda, no? At lalo na, alam niyo ako mismo mga kaibigan, di naman palagi, no? Paminsan-minsan, yung mga umakyat sa bus, yan sa EDSA na yan, ano? Nagbibigay din po ako, lalo na kung, yun nga, sinabing estudyante, tapos bingi at pipi, maawa ka rin talaga, mag-aabot ka kahit papano. Pero kung malalaman mo nagpapanggap lang pala, abi, nakakabwisit yun kasi panlolokong maliwanag po yun. Di ba mga kaibigan? Ay, pambihira. Deliberate ba na ginagawa talaga nila yun para makalimos lang? Ang pangit naman. Di ba mga kaibigan? Imagine, tuturuan nyo yung mga members. No? Assuming totoo ito again, disclaimer po. Assuming totoo, ang pangit pong tingnan nun. Ginagawang sinungaling yung mga members para lamang makalimos. Yun ba yung sabi sa Bible? Nagtatanong lang po. Tuloy po natin.
How did he choose his wives? What kind of woman did he like to elevate into the position of a spiritual wife?
Okay, that's really a hard question to me, because if I answer that truthfully, I would feel that, or people would interpret that as I was pulling my own chair. Because number one is you have to be attractive to be in the pastoral.
Okay.
Either your inner circle or innermost circle. You have to be attractive, and then you have to be obedience. Like you don't question whether you understand or not. You don't question. It's called for absolute obedience. And they were people who are absolute obedience to Kibuloy's wishes, and they are trusted to be in the higher position of the ministry because they don't make mistake in the eyes of Kibuloy.
Ayan, so natanong nga si Arlene Stone, paano pinipili ni Pastor Kibuloy yung kanyang spiritual wives. Unang requirement, maganda. Pangalawa, masunurin. Hindi marunong magreklamo or hindi pala tanong. At sila ay inilalagay sa mga matataas na posisyon dun sa ministry. Grabe. Hindi natakil ni Arlene Stone, no? Kung may mga nabuntis ba dito sa mga spiritual wives? May mga naging anak ba si Pastor Kibuloy? Asa na sila at paano tinitreat yung mga naging anak na ito, no? Kung meron man. Ayan. Ito lang po yung isang bagay na hindi pa yata lumalabas sa media. Okay? Siguro matatalakay din ng Rappler. Tuloy po natin. Si Reynita Fernandez naman ang maglalabas ng kanyang saloobin. Okay? Here we go.
And then when I decided that to be rebuffed, I have given right away a financial quota, like just right away. When I get back, I just baptized, and then they're giving me like 2,000 Singapore dollars to, that was because like a caroling time. So I did. I am not a very difficult person when it comes to giving, but then I just really committed to that. I did not realize that I get back to being a member, because I was in my young age I was a worker. So being a member, there is so much more to give. So there is their kingdom, there is their IKLC, there is this KLC fund, there is this birthday, there is this a lot of like non-stop. I mean, I can even count it on my fingers. And then I realized that I couldn't pay anymore my mortgage. To be honest, I lost my house. And I couldn't even send money for my daughter. I'm a single mom. So it was like, oh my God, what's going on? And I have no face to show to my family, because even to my sister who is unbeliever, because I have nothing. And then there was a time, like it was 2019, that I realized that I talked to them, to one of the leader here. I said, "Look, I'm struggling in my health. I really have to go look after my health. I need to go series of checkups, and can I not leave my obligations?" And they don't care about that. They don't care. They will say, no matter what happens to you have to give what you're assigned to give.
Ayan, ang inihayag naman ni Reynita Fernandez ay ang tungkol sa mga, ano man tawag doon, mga pledges ba yan tawag yan, mga contribution, obligatory, no? Compulsory. Grabe, ang dami nilang binabayaran. Yung enumeration niya, ang dami. To the point na narimata na daw yung kanyang bahay na foreclosed. And then, ayon sa kanyang statement, they don't care. Wala silang konsiderasyon. Basta yung obligation mo, ibigay mo, it seems by hook or by crook. Kailangan ibigay mo yung obligation mo sa church. So kung totoo, again, kung totoo ito, no, itong allegation ni Reynita Fernandez, at sa bawat miyembro ginagawa yon, no, no wonder talagang yayaman. At alam natin, isa ang church ni Pastor Apollo Kibuloy sa mayamang church. So ito pala yung dahilan. Again, isa na naman itong aligasyon na dapat sagutin ni Pastor Kibuloy, no, kung may katotohanan ba or gawa-gawa lamang itong aligasyon na ito. Again, it bears the question, ano ang motivation or what motivated these people, former members of the Church of Pastor Apollo Kibuloy, to come out and disclose these things? Okay? Ano kaya? Tuloy po natin.
I can remember that in Cubao or in Qmart, somewhere, everywhere, and somewhere in Manila, whether there is bus stopping or just a little bit of, like, stopping. It's not even stopping fully, but you have to climb up there. And sometimes you have someone to accompany you to distribute the envelope while you are speaking. So I have to ask permission from the driver. Hey, can I say something, because we're doing this kind of charity things and all that. And so I have to speak while the bus is running, saying something, convince people inside the bus to contribute what we are doing. So people will just raise their eyebrows, and people will just give you money. So that's what I did. So every bus, as much as I can, I go up into that buses to collect some money. And the other thing that I said, really, that I can't believe I've been doing that, is go on to what do you call that? The cockpits, the sabungan. The sabungan. I go on to that, and because we are not allowed to go there, but we really have this eagerness. We have to do this. I need to earn money. I need to go home with bunch of money. So I need to find some way. So I have to talk to the in charge of the sabungan, and then eventually, because you are a woman, you're just a girl, so they allow you. So I come up there. They have to stop this manok from fighting, and then I have to go up on top of that ring, and then I'll hold that thing, to just talk to all of the people, and most of them are men. And then after I speak up something like, we were collecting some money for some kind of this organization or something, and then they just throw some money inside that ring, and then we just collect that money, just a lot of money. I'm so amazed to that.
So, ayan mga kaibigan, hindi lang pala pang bus, no? Pang pang sabungan ba? Grabe. Ano po ang masasabi nyo dito? Hindi kaya Ma'am Reynita Fernandez, hindi naman kaya gawa-gawa yan. Hindi naman kaya invento yan. Again, another allegation, sabungan, saka yung bus. Yung bus parang common po yan eh. Tuloy po natin.
The next thing they do they just make a story to make me my image bad. They contact every members and they have a very big Zoom meeting, and they use my brother to stand up against me and say something against me. Like they they said to everybody that I'm like a devil, that I should be avoided. I should be avoided because they want to save eventually the rest of the members in Singapore.
So ayan, ginamit pa daw yung kanyang kapatid to testify against her. At pinalabas na siya ay masama at na dapat layuan or iwasan. Ayun, accordingly din, siya pala ay nakabase sa Singapore ngayon. Alright, so meron pa pong isang babae ang magte-testify at ang kanyang pangalan ay si Faith Quilion. Okay, pakinggan naman po natin ang kanyang istorya.
Wanted to because Ate Renita was talking about the individual goals, so I want to expound on what she was saying. So for 25 years, I have a list of it. These are the financial goals of the members there. Every week, every Sunday, they will announce it. Love offering, that is supposed to be greater than your tithes, which is 10% of your income. Ministry to the poor offering, which is vague because there's also Children's Joy Foundation and Sunshine Philippine Movements offering. Television ministry offering for the Sunshine TV and radio stations. Pinas offering, which is the newspaper and other publication materials. Building fund for the Kingdom and other small rented churches or KLCs. Emergency fund for who knows what. And then wave offering after the preaching. That's every Sunday. And other than that, there is a concert pledge for every concert held in certain places, either in the Philippines or outside of the country. There is also tribute to the King, which is a mid-year sacrificial giving of huge amounts ranging from $500 to $10,000, or sky is the limit. There's also a pastor's birthday gift, usually for a new house or a new car, or whatever new project he can think of.
So ayun nga po mga kaibigan, basically yung sinabi ni Miss Faith Quilion ay reiteration or pag-uulit lamang nung mga naunang pahayag ni Miss Renita Fernandez tungkol sa mga contribution sa ministry ni Pastor Apollo Quiboloy. Only that, mas detalyado yung naging enumeration or paliwanag ni Miss Faith Quilion. Okay, ano ang magiging or aking opinion or conclusion in summary? Well, I'm talking general, no? Hindi lang dito sa relihiyon ni Pastor Apollo Quiboloy. Siguro ang take ko dito is I could say na tayong mga Pinoy masyadong gullible, masyadong nagpapaniwala, lalo na pag ang usapin ay relihiyon, no? Or ang pananampalataya. Sa akin po, siguro or hindi siguro, kundi hindi masamang minsan magmuni-muni tayo, mag-isip-isip kung tama pa ba yung ating ginagawa, tama pa ba yung ipinapagawa sa atin ng mga spiritual leaders na naturingan ng mga ito, no? Hindi naman po siguro masamang magmuni-muni at mag-isip. Minsan nga parang mas maganda pang rumekta na lang sa Diyos di ba? Total, iisa lang din naman yung tinutukoy, no? Bakit? Ewan ko ba? 4,300 religions, lahat nagsasabi, bawat isa sila yung tama. Pag members ka nila or miyembro ka nila, maliligtas ka. Pag hindi ka nila miyembro at sa iba ka umanib, hindi ka maliligtas. Ano yun? Di ba? Tapos pa magsasabi pa dyan, yung turo lang nila ang tama at yung karamihan or lahat ay mali na. Grabe, no? Ano pong komento niyo mga kaibigan? I-comment na yan, talakayin natin.